Hello everyone, it's me, Kat, again. Things have gotten pretty scary here in Seaford the past few nights. I'm personally scared to just go outside anymore, though it seems like I'm not alone. Just 2 days after the last episode was released, Rachel was found dead. But unlike the twins, she was strung up publicly, like a display to send a message. The brutality of the whole thing was just awful. Warning for gore. It was Friday morning when she was found tied up to the flagpole outside of the high school. The first thing anyone noticed was that her hands had been chopped off, leaving bloodstains in the grass just below her. Obviously, there was an immediate response from the police, ambulances, and the fire department. Sadly, though, she had been determined to have been dead for hours before anyone got there. When they were finally able to get her down, it got so much worse. The first thing that they noticed was that her eyes and her mouth had been forced into a sickening smile. But worst of all, her heart had been removed. Not in any professional or surgical manner, but just a gaping hole in her chest where her heart should have been. The police, of course, started asking the public for any information, which has led to a released description of the primary suspect. A few people confirmed seeing who they thought was a young male, sneaking around in a Seaford Blue Jays hoodie and a burlap mask with button eyes and a stitched-on smile. I didn't really want to do this episode, but Anon said it would help keep me distracted.
Do you think you're okay to do your episode?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm really freaked out about everything. Everyone targeted has been someone we've covered on the podcast. What if I do it and the Seaford slasher comes after me next?
You've been here since the beginning. I think if they were targeting people on the podcast, either of us would have been first. And Isaac was also on one of the episodes, and he's fine.
I guess that makes sense.
Besides, I think staying home and talking about Mary will help keep you distracted for a while.
I don't know, but I'll try. You just want me to talk about our friendship, right?
Yeah, just kind of getting to know her a bit more, her family, what led to the fight, etc. If you're comfortable with all that, of course.
Anyway, I hope you haven't gotten too tired of me yet. But good news for you, this is it. The last episode of the season. Well, mine at least. I don't know if Anon plans on doing anything after this, but he said it would be the last one I have to record. So here it goes. For the last time, welcome to the Secrets of Seaford podcast, where we discuss the secrets of Seaford. I'm Kat, and I hope you enjoy Season 1, Episode 5 of The Secrets of Seaford. I don't know where else to put this, so I'll just throw this in at the beginning. With all the chaos right now, it's been hard to even think straight most times, and it's especially scary to even have to go out anywhere. But with greater help, anyone is able to speak with a certified and experienced therapist from the comfort of their own home. I found it exceptionally helpful with my anxiety about recent events, and I hope you can too. Okay, back to Mary. Where do I even start? Mary was such a beautiful girl in every way. She could just light up any room she walked into. She was very honest, sometimes to a fault. But even if she wasn't, she had this tell about her anytime she did try to lie, that apparently only I knew about. She would get this cute little smirk, which wasn't uncommon, but if she was lying, she would get a dimple on her right cheek when smiling. Even though I'm the only one who knew about it, she was nervous that it was too obvious, so she just avoided lying when she could. There was this one time when we were younger. I was staying the night at her house, and we were playing cards when her mom made brownies. Her mom was such a lovely lady. She was always so nice and accommodating. I never felt unwelcome around her. She was basically a second mother to me. Anyway, we were playing, and she kept winning. I knew she was cheating somehow. I just couldn't prove it. When I asked her if she was cheating, she said no, obviously. But that was the first time I saw that dimple. Just before biting into a brownie, which Mary had shoved a card into. I miss when all I had to worry about was whether or not I would get a mouthful of card anytime her mom baked. I'm tearing up.
How are you doing?
I think I'm okay. Or I'll be okay.
I know. It can be hard to talk about, but I think it'll be good to memorialize her.
It's just a lot to relive.
I'll be on for a bit if you need a break to talk about something else. Just take your time.
Thank you. About a month after the end of our junior year was when Mary's parents were killed in the accident. That's when things really changed for both of us. She became much more closed in. She was a lot quieter and never wanted to be at her own house, so she spent a lot of time at mine. I started to feel as if she was becoming dependent on me, which wasn't a bad thing, but sometimes you need your own space, you know. But it wasn't just that. Just before winter break, my brother got really sick. My parents had to pick up extra shifts to pay for all the medical bills, so I had to spend most of my time not at school watching the younger two. And with all the medical equipment in the house, my parents didn't want Mary over too much. So we started growing apart. That was until my brother started getting better at the beginning of March, so again, we were able to spend a lot of time together over spring break. But it was different this time. We were inseparable. She never wanted to leave my side, in school or out of school. She was with me any chance that she could get. Which makes the following events make a lot more sense from the perspective I have now. She had invited me out for a day at the boardwalk. She offered to drive because she knew I hated driving in Rehoboth, even paid for our boardwalk fries. Eventually, when it started getting darker, she suggested we stop in for dinner at the Green Turtle, which she knew was one of my favorites. We ended up splitting the bill, even though she insisted on paying. At the end of the night, when we got back to my house, we sat in the car and talked for a while, which is something we did often. But then it happened. The thing that sparked our fight. She confessed that she loved me as more than just a friend. I couldn't respond, so I just sat quietly for a bit until getting out of the car and going inside. We didn't talk after that. I just couldn't face her. I felt terrible. So, when she tried reaching out again and invited me to hang out over the weekend, I accepted. But the world likes to play sick jokes on us, doesn't it? And my brother got sick again. So I ended up standing her up, which is the real reason we ended up fighting in the end.
Did you know Mary had a brother?
I mean, kinda. I knew of him, but I never met him. As much as I was over, he never came out of his room, which Mary told me only got worse once their parents died.
So he was a hermit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you know anything else about him?
Mary complained about him a lot, but it was never anything serious.
Classic sibling things.
The few times she did talk about him that weren't complaints, she would talk about how protective he was and how it crushed him after their parents died.
Yeah, that protective nature and losing a loved one don't mix very well.
She said that after the accident, even she didn't see much of him. It made it so much harder on her because it felt like not only had she lost her parents, but also her brother, leaving her essentially alone.
Everyone copes differently, though. I can only imagine what he was going through.
When Anon brought up Mary's brother, it really got me thinking about the whole situation again. It really made me think about how he and I had failed her. Maybe if he was more present, then she wouldn't have relied on me so much and grown so attached. Or if I wasn't so scared to admit that I loved her too, then I would have been next to her and not Rachel, and I could have kept her from falling. But that's why I'm here now. If I couldn't stop it, then I can at least try to get justice for her. I just don't understand where her brother is. Maybe he just doesn't know about the podcast, but he at least knows what happened to his sister. So you'd think that he'd be aware if a somewhat popular podcast started talking about his own sister's death, especially since Mary said he was so protective. You know, now that I'm thinking about it. If I had to guess, I'd probably say Mary's brother is. Hello?
And a special thanks to Lay Figure for the intro music for this episode. This podcast is licensed under the CC BY NC SA 4.0 license.